What is up, Jiglets? Welcome back to another video. Today, got the boy Gibby with me. He's going to be helping me do this NFL tier list.
Let's do it.
2 games of sample size for most of these teams. We're going to figure out where they're going to be finishing this season. We've got Super Bowl contenders, playoff lock, bubble teams, mid-sauce, and cheeks. All right, Raiders.
Let me get mid-sauce.
Yeah, mid-sauce, not cheeks. Bro, I'm a big Geno believer, but it's seeming like he's actually not that guy. I mean, they're not that bad of a roster. It's just mid-sauce. That's the perfect way to describe them.
Nah, you hit it there. They got Genty too, so it's like maybe they'll be able to win 7 games this year.
Chiefs, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender anymore, but I'd still say they're a playoff lock.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I thought Travis Kelce was maybe going to have a resurgence. He has the fade again, but he's now engaged to Taylor Swift, so that's kind of contradictory. I thought bro was going to be locked in, and then he took out Xavier Worthy week 1. So
yeah,
we'll have to see. You good with that spot?
I am.
Chargers, I want to throw them up here, to be honest. What do you think?
Super Bowl contenders? I would say they're a playoff lock.
Yeah.
They haven't had the playoff wins in their most recent history, so I can't put them up there too high.
I want to put them in Super Bowl contenders for sure. Like, I would love to see the Chargers win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna have them as my second favorite team after the Packers. I mean, they're just a well-constructed roster, and they're a well-coached team as well. They can be very physical, and they can also air it out. We'll see. It seems like Keenan Allen is doing pretty well this year. Now that it's not just Lad McConkey, I feel like they're a lot better than last year. Broncos, I don't know if they're a lock, huh?
No, I was actually debating between mid-sauce and bubble. They play in that AFC West division. That's a lot of hard games, a lot of hard divisional games. They're not going to win them all.
I'm going to say bubble. They probably have a top 5 defense in the NFL, and they've got pieces on offense, and I like Bo Nix. So last year I was a Bo Nix doubter before I saw what he had to bring. Like, the question about him was his arm strength. Last year he was throwing it like 60 yards on the dot, so I feel like that's not really up for debate anymore. Rams, bubble.
I think they're probably going to make the playoffs. Their defense isn't as good as it used to be back in the day. Their offense, I guess they've added Devontae Adams, so I guess we'll just have to kind of see.
They're just solid across the board, and Sean McVay is a good coach. I don't know if for sure they're a playoff lock, but they could win the division. Probably same thing with the Seahawks, huh?
Kind of a bubble team. I damn near want to put them at mid-sauce.
Yeah, we'll throw them in there. 49ers. If the injury bug didn't bite them again this year, I would say playoff lock.
Yeah.
But because of the injury bug, I'm going to throw them in the bubble.
Yeah, they have a problem with staying healthy for real. It's like every year with them. I don't know. Yeah, if they can get everybody back, they'll definitely be in the playoffs for sure.
If they could get healthy, I would say they're a playoff lock for sure. Just on paper, their roster is probably top 5 in the NFL, I'd say. Cardinals, bubble?
Yeah, I think they're definitely they're getting better from previous years. Kyler can stay healthy. They have a good offense. They have some good pieces on defense too.
Yeah, they're definitely trending upwards. They're just slowly adding guys where they need them. Like Will Johnson seems like he's going to be a lockdown corner. They're still a pretty young team for the most part, so they're just going to keep trending upwards. It seems like they're working their way out of being a poverty franchise. Jets, on the other hand, what do you think?
I want to put them bubble, but I know they're mid-sauce. Especially now that Justin's hurt. I think I was looking forward to that offense and them in that second game only putting up 10 points, I think, even if that.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was a terrible outing by the whole team, so.
They looked so good week 1, and then week 2, the train just went off the rails for real. I thought Justin Fields was going to have a good year, him reconnecting with Garrett Wilson. Right. I don't know. I mean, they've got guys on defense, but Sauce Gardner's been trending downwards. Still on paper, not that bad of a roster. I feel like from a roster standpoint, you can't put them in cheeks. It's kind of just the Jets for real. Dolphins, I want to put the Dolphins in cheeks, but they've just got so many guys that they have to end up in mid-sauce, right?
Yeah, I can agree with that. They play so terribly, but I still feel like they're going to get like 7 to 9 wins somehow because of Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Devon A-Chain. Like, their offense is too good.
Yeah, their offense is too good to be like cheeks. And then Tua's going to have that one game every year where he looks like Steve Young reincarnated. Then he's just mid or he just turns the ball over too much. Realistically, he probably shouldn't be playing football right now because of all the concussions he's had. The Dolphins are going to be between mid-sauce and bubble until they switch something up. The Patriots, I'm gonna throw the Patriots in the bubble. They should be better than the Dolphins. Definitely more well coached than the Dolphins. Drake May is better than Tua. Mike Vrabel is better than McDaniel. It doesn't really seem like Diggs is really the answer at receiver for him, but they've got better weapons this year than they did last year. Travion Henderson looks pretty solid. They're trending upwards.
Yeah, I think Drake May's taken definite steps. He looks like he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks from that draft class last year, so...
The Bills, I think that's going to be our first Super Bowl contender,
I agree with
right?
that.
Not much to really say. I mean, Josh Allen is putting the team on his back again. They added some guys on defense, Joey Bosa. What do you think the key is for the Bills?
Limiting turnovers, and Josh Allen historically has been a high turnover guy, but last year he wasn't, and it, allowed them to go pretty far. So as long as he's not turning over the ball, I mean, it's hard to beat a team when they score 35 points like every single game. So as long as you can score points, they'll probably be in pretty good shape.
Giants, I don't think they're cheeks, to be honest.
I don't think so either. Russ impressed me in that second week, and I know that's something that's like, okay, that might be like the Tua thing for once a year. Russ is going to look like that, but Neighbors looks really good. Cam Scatabo looked good in that game too. Wan'Dale Robinson looked good in that game, and I'm like, damn, like, if this was Jameis or even maybe Jackson Dart, it probably would have been the same outcome, even if it wasn't Russ. Like, the Cowboys' defense was just letting up everything.
I feel like by the end of this year, Malik Neighbors is going to be a top 5 wide receiver. The only problem I have with the Giants is if you're not going to use Jameis, like, bro, trade him to a different team because we need to see Jameis play.
The Bengals just lost Joe Burrow.
We need to see Jameis playing somewhere, bro.
Right, he can't just be sitting there.
I saw this one dude say that Jameis shouldn't be a team's backup. He should be the NFL's backup. Yeah, whenever someone needs him, he should be playing. Eagles, there for sure.
Go Birds, dickhead.
He's the Birds fan, so I'm gonna let him talk about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the offensive play calls have been pretty poor. We're not really getting the ball over the middle of the field. People like to bring up that Hurts was just a check down kind of guy the first 2 weeks, and that may be the case. He's checking the ball down to Saquon a lot, but there's not really that many intermediate routes over the middle like there has been in past years. But we're still getting the job done. Two good wins over two pretty good teams. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I think we're going to make a good push, and I'm a big Jalen Hurts believer.
They're still winning, and there's a lot of stuff they can improve on. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown have 100 total yards combined so far. There's a lot of wrinkles they can still iron out. Best roster on paper by far, deepest roster. At every single position, I would say they have guys that are above the average in the league. You have to say that they're a Super Bowl contender. Yeah, I'd say they're between mid-sauce and bubble.
Yeah, I was going to put them at bubble. I think they did good against the Eagles in week 1, and then, they let the Giants hang around with them for way too long. They almost gave the Giants a chance to win in overtime by not scoring on that first overtime possession. So I want to even say they're a playoff lock just because of the addition of George Pickens. But then the Cowboys just end up being the Cowboys, and they always find a way to lose.
I don't think I could put them as a lock just because of how terrible their defense looked. No shade to Russell Wilson, but he was looking like Joe Montana.
500 passing yards he almost had.
I think the defense is going to hold them back. Like, the offense will always be pretty solid. Javonte Williams looks like pre-ACL tear.
It's really good.
Commanders... Are they a lock for the playoffs?
I guess it kind of just depends on the health status of Jaden Daniels. I know he's out this week. If they can keep him in, I mean, that's kind of like the same thing with the AFC West, is that the division is kind of really good. So it kind of just depends on how all those division games end out. But they have a really good roster. They have a lot of vets on that team that are very big contributors. So
they're the oldest roster in the NFL.
I don't know. We'll see. I like them a lot. I like Jaden Daniels. I think he's a good quarterback. So long as he stays healthy, he should be all right.
Yeah, I agree. And same thing with the Eagles. They still got some wrinkles to iron out. Like, Terry hasn't been that great this year yet. They're definitely not worse than they were last year. Like, they didn't really lose any super key guys, and they added Debo and Laramie Tunsil. I mean, that should be enough to have them as a playoff lock. I think this might be our first Cheeks
I think it has to be, man. I like Jerry Jeudy, but that's about one of the only bright spots on that team. Myles Garrett. DBs are good, too. Shedeur.
Start Shedeur.
They start Shedeur. I'm putting them as Super Bowl contender. Until they do that, they're cheeks, man.
The one bright spot, I guess, is Myles Garrett. Actually, their defense isn't too bad.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
They have dogs at each level of the defense. Denzel, Myles Garrett, and Jeremiah.
Greg Newsome.
Still in cheeks for now. I mean, it's the Browns, bro.
Yeah, the offense can never seem to ever get rolling. Basically doing plug and play at quarterback, too, so it doesn't really help the offense really find an identity.
For sure.
For
Right.
sure.
For sure.
For sure. Lamar's coming for it all this year.
Yeah, I think he's getting the MVP this year. They added Hopkins. I thought Hopkins was washed.
He's had a great 2 games.
He looks like what they need him to be. Big body target for Lamar. Like, I feel like he's never really had lengthy receiver. He can just have box out guys, have an advantage at the catch point. Plus, adding Jair. If he gets back to how he was when he was healthy on the Packers, that's probably one of the craziest DB rooms.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Jair, and Marlon Humphrey.
Nate Wiggins, too.
If they're all playing at their peak, that's hands down the best DB room in the NFL. Steelers. I think they're a lock for the playoffs. The Steelers' floor every year is 7-10 or 8-9, and their ceiling is 10-7, 11-6. They're always going to be between the bubble and playoff lock. Would you put them in the bubble instead?
Yeah, I'm thinking the bubble because I think there's like some of these bubble teams that I would pick to win over the Steelers because I think the Steelers would lose to Chargers, Chiefs, and Washington. I think they compete better in this category.
Yeah, that makes sense. Rodgers looked good week 1, and then he was like not terrible the second week. They got sold by Caleb Johnson.
Yeah,
you saw that?
Yeah,
bro?
that week 2 game was some shit, man.
But still well coached, good defense. They're running the Unk squad. They've got so many old guys, so many savvy vets. So unless they get bit by the injury bug, I think they're making the playoffs with mid-sauce probably.
Yeah, Burrow being hurt for 2 months damn near because their whole ligament in the bottom of your foot. You know, Jake Browning's good, but he's good for a backup.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 5 backup, but their offense was the only thing keeping them in games last year. And without any major field-tilting acquisitions to the defense, I feel like they're going to be stuck in mid-sauce. Mid-sauce?
Yeah, I thought JJ looked good for that last 4th quarter in the Bears game. I think he's hurt again.
Carson Wentz time, bro.
Right? I love Carson Wentz. But it's kind of the same situation as the Bengals, you know. They don't have... You're missing out your quarterback. Inconsistency at that position. You have a number 1 receiver, but, if you don't have a quarterback, the defense, all they really have to plan for is that wide receiver.
The only thing that maybe the Vikings have a shot, I could see a world in which Wentz has a Darnold-like resurgence and he starts going nuts.
Dude, I saw the stats where he's like 30-something touchdowns and only like 8 picks since leaving the Colts, I think it was.
I kind of see a world in which Wentz just keeps the job and they don't let McCarthy get it back. He could easily start lining it up, especially once Jordan Addison gets back. Just the targets he has, that's definitely a top 5 room. Packers. It is our year, dog. First of all, Parsons, probably the biggest move in Packers history since Reggie White. It looks like we low-key have the best defense in the NFL. The only thing I was scared about was our cornerbacks holding up. Keyshawn Nixon has looked really good this year. We've got dogs on the back end, McKinney, Bullard, and Evan Williams. Then we've got Edger and Cooper. Parsons eating up so many blocks is going to make it more free for Devontae Wyatt and Rashawn Gary. We also have future Hall of Famer that we just drafted this year, that I actually drafted this year, Savion Williams. Packers president Mark Murphy. Savion Williams. Trust me, I'm going to milk that video for the rest of my life. And I'm friends with him on Facebook. I sent him the video. He said he saw the video.
That's lit. Josh Jacobs is nice. I like the receiver by committee.
If Matthew Golden starts heating up, that would be huge too. He hasn't really done much in the first 2 games. Lions.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we gotta put him in Super Bowl 2. I can't lie.
The Lions?
I think the Lions playoff run, like the last 2 years. I mean, they won the division last year. They did lose to the Packers, but I think they're... Oh, I don't want to say it, but I like their team better than the Packers. I just do. I think the offense is more electric. Yeah, Jordan Love's better than Jared Goff, but I'd rather just truly have the Lions offense than I would the Packers if I can just switch Jordan Love and Jared Goff. Defensively, I got to give it to the Packers, but I think they're just as good. Those are the 2 teams that I'm excited for to watch fight out for the division. That's going to come down to the very last game of the season. season. Whoever's going to get home field advantage is going to be one of those things, and everyone's going to be pissed off. But, I mean, we got one AFC team up there. Two. Yeah, the Bills. I didn't see the Bills. Yep. So, I mean, my 3 favorite teams in the league are the last 3 teams we just added on to the Super Bowls list. And I think it's got to be an NFC team this year.
I mean, they lost their coordinators, but, like, really, these are all, maybe not the Bills. I think the Bills maybe get carried a bit more by Josh Allen. But these 4 teams right here, the Ravens, Eagles, Packers, and Lions, roster-wise, as far as having above-average players at each position, these 4 teams would be the definition of that.
I think we gotta, dude. No? I think we gotta, dude.
Yeah.
We gotta even it out.
We'll
if
put
you're
them
a betting
in
man, are
mid-sauce.
you taking the Bears over any of these teams in mid-sauce? I don't know if I am.
No.
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. The thing is like, sometimes, like, they don't even sometimes look good. They all the time look bad.
They look good in like the first quarter, and then it all just starts falling apart. They're 0-2, right?
Yeah.
You think Caleb is a bust?
I don't know if he's a bust or if it's like he's just not. I think what separates some of these teams is the leadership. And I don't know if they got leadership for real with the Bears. There's no really seasoned vet that I can point out on that team that's going to give Caleb direction or, give a first-year head coach like Ben Johnson direction. I don't know. It just seems like a recipe for disaster. A quarterback that Ben Johnson did not draft, and it's his first year. I remember when they were talking about how, like, in training camp, like, they wouldn't let players, like, take first-team reps if they were continuously messing up. So you're talking about your ones not taking first team reps because they keep messing up.
I see what you're saying. I feel like on paper they should be at least a bubble team.
Right.
To be
I would
honest.
think so.
Based off what we've seen, I guess I do agree with them being in cheeks. I want to give him credit. I just feel sorry for him, bro. Our friend Clem, he's a Bears fan. He just has to go through this every single year. There's hope in the offseason. By week 8, it's over, bro.
Every year the last 45 years, they've had a top 15 pick. It's just as bad as the Cardinals, but at least the Cardinals, the Patriots, they're trending upwards at least, it looks like.
Texans, they have not looked good this year.
Nah, CJ Stroud is scaring me, man.
But the thing is, someone in this division has to be a playoff lock, or at least in the bubble.
True.
Probably all these teams, either mid-sauce or cheeks.
The best team left is the Buccaneers.
Oh, I was just talking about the AFC
if you
South.
include all of them, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy to say 2 of those teams are guaranteed to make the playoffs.
Yeah, people in the South just have the SEC. The Titans are going to be...
Cam Ward looks good, but there's just no other pieces around him. I think he looks decent. Cheeks. I think they just got to be. I think I wasn't a Cam Ward believer, and now I kind of am. He looks good through 2 weeks, but he has zero help out there.
The only thing they have is Cam Ward, really. And I guess, like, Jeffrey Simmons. Yeah, so I guess that's fair having them in cheeks. Hey there.
That might be my playoff team from that division just because Brian Thomas Jr., the receiving core, Travis Hunter, I guess another year under Trevor Lawrence spell. He needs to show some stuff, but Etienne looks good this year too so far.
Looking like he was his rookie year. They just don't look right next to these teams.
They damn near should be mid, but it's like someone's got to make the playoffs.
We'll keep them in mid for now, and we'll talk it out. So they should be up here.
Roster on paper that they got,
but they're not though.
It's not, yeah.
I'm going to throw him in bubble.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
CJ Stroud has been trending downwards. It doesn't help him that they have probably the worst offensive line. It was bad last year, and then they got rid of their best player.
Right.
I don't know if that's really where they belong or if that's just where, like, I'm used to always having the Texans. They're always kind of between mid-sauce and bubble. The Colts, though. I think I like the Colts the most.
Daniel Jones looks decent.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah, Indiana Jones doesn't look too bad. That 17 looks gross in the F7.
That looks really gross.
But he looks all right.
Maybe I'm just overreacting to the first 2 weeks of Indiana Jones. They have a pretty well-constructed roster. I mean, JT, 3 really good wide receivers, Downs, Pittman, Pierce. Adonai Mitchell is looking better. Good O-line. They added some guys on defense. They got Bynum, Charvarius Ward. They added some guys to a roster that was, like, pretty solid last year. If Daniel Jones keeps it up, I think they're winning that division.
Yeah, it's fair.
Would you agree having them over these two?
Yeah, I think you made a good case for it. I like them, I guess, more out of all those teams right now.
Only one team from this division is making it to the playoffs.
For sure. And they're probably going to be a first-round exit.
Yeah. Falcons. I want to put them up there. This was filmed before the Panthers brutally pounded them. But
I just don't think they're there yet. I think they got good pieces and starting to move in the right direction. I just think they need another year or two.
they definitely have the potential to make the playoffs this year, but still a lot to be seen. But it looks like the rookies they got, James Pierce, Jalen Walker, it seems like they kind of fixed the pass rush problem that they had. Their range is between 7 and 10 and 10 and 7 pretty much.
Yeah.
Panthers.
You might have to go down there.
I thought Bryce Young was looking better after he had the talk with Rod Wave. I thought that was going to carry into this season. Tet McMillan looks nice, but, bro, they need to start playing Jimmy Horn because Xavier Legette looks cheeks. Bro.
Yeah, he does look cheeks, bro. He's spending too much time on Glorilla, bro.
Hey.
We're doing a video, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mo, do you want to talk about the Bears?
Sure.
You naked?
Mo's guest commentary on the Bears.
But,
See where we put him?
oh my God. I can start right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's 4 other tiers above Cheeks. Mid-sauce bubble, playoff lock. Based off how things been looking, bro, they deserve to be Cheeks. I'll even admit there was so much hype with, like, Ben Johnson, Williams, the O-line, our receiver core, all that rah-rah with Swift and all them, bro. Ryan Joyce hyping us up.
Ryan Joyce.
Yes, bro.
Shout out Ryan Joyce, one of our teammates.
We have everything we need to be good, but it's just not clicking together. So at first I used to make excuses and try to justify it, but they're Cheeks right now. So. And what else? Who else is the Browns? Like they're in that tier. Browns, Titans. I'm kind of biased towards the Panthers, but
Pro biased?
I think Panthers should be mid-sauce.
Why?
I think they could be good. I just see the potential.
How many years from now?
At the end
We're
of
talking
the-
about this year, though.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So Saints, same
Yeah,
type
same
of
deal,
situation.
bro. They don't
bro.
have a quarterback. Spencer Rattler sucks. I was hoping he'd be good, but
Yeah, I thought he was going to be nice, too. And then they drafted a 26-year-old rookie. Cam Jordan is still playing, bro? Bro, go to your family.
Yeah,
Or at least
yeah,
go to
man.
a contender, bro.
right?
Like,
That's just a poverty. I feel bad for any Saints fan that's got to tune in. I do like Rashid Shaheed, like that TikTok. I'm a sucker for the all-purpose yards,
yeah.
but other than that, they have a lot of low spots on that team.
You got anything, Mo?
Not for the Saints, no.
And then Bucks? I mean, I would put them up here if we didn't already have so many guys in the NFC up here, but for sure a playoff lock.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Baker's back. It seems like Mike Evans so far, I think he might have finally reached Unk status. But they've got Igbukah, or
Emeka Ibuka,
Emeka Ibuka.
Bucky Irvin, a
Key
good
Irving,
line.
good defense.
Yeah, they're missing Chris Godwin, and I think he'll be able to come back towards the end of the year. But Emeka's really filling that slot really good, and they have some other like Jalen McMillan, some pieces in that receiver room too that are stepping up. And Mike Evans is kind of on that, like how we were talking about earlier with that DeAndre Hopkins kind of thing. You know, use him in the red zone, use him as your big body guy. Sure, he might not be an 1,000-yard guy maybe this year. I think they've still got the tools to succeed.
What's the Bucks record right now?
Who knows?
I don't know.
They beat the Falcons and they beat...
I don't know
The
who they played
Texans.
last week. Okay, yeah, Texans.
Yeah, they're 2
Yeah.
Just a recap. All right, AFC, East, West, North,
Yeah.
South. 5, 6, either the Patriots or the Steelers. I'm leaning probably towards the Steelers if it came down to it.
I think the Steelers would probably sneak in there then, yeah.
NFC, East, North, South, West.
LA.
LA or the 49ers. So
I think LA wins it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We are a lot higher on the NFC than we are the AFC.
3 of these NFC teams will
I
miss
don't
the
think
playoffs.
I don't think the Cowboys would make it because the Eagles and the Commanders.
Yeah, that's a tough division.
There's no way we triple up.
The Giants are not that bad. They almost stole a win from them already.
I think LA and San Francisco both make it. Barring injuries on both teams, I think that
Yeah.
both of them will still make the playoffs. And I think the Patriots will probably miss out.
Still too young,
Yeah.
but maybe next year. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. Have a good rest of your day. Stay jiggy.
Yeah,
jiggy.
Stay jiggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.